Hey guys, welcome to Grounded Roots Healing. I'm Jason, and I am out of commission. As you will notice, this isn't my usual filming setup. I have the Ricky Gervais double chin from the bathtub thing going on because I put my back out today. At least that's what it appears to be. Now, I decided to go for a walk and took my dog, and I was having a little campfire. And then I was packing everything up. Everything was fun. I was having a great time. And I went to bend over to pick up my bag, and my back was out. Like, like I picked everything up, but it really took some effort. And I was about a kilometer from my car. So that was quite a situation, actually. I had cell phone signal, so in a pinch, I would have called someone to come help me out of there. But I really had to take my time, and I found a stick to prop myself up and all that stuff. So, you know, the last couple of days, I had through a tower moment, energetic release of old energies, and uh, today I feel absolutely great. But like I was saying, today I feel absolutely great mentally, and then my body failed me. So, but my spirits are high. At least when I don't try to move. So it's fine. Well, it's not fine, but it's okay if I'm not moving. It's when I go to transition. If I got to get up to use the washroom or something, wow. And it's right in line with my sacral, which is where I've had the major energetic blockage in my system since I was a little kid. It's not really clear, but I have a funny feeling that that's what's happening right now. So I don't know what to talk about here. The You get to go to the washroom is always a fun trip. Oh, sorry guys. Now I haven't had to do number 2 yet, so I'm kind of nervous about that one. But you know, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But this, like, just lifting the toilet seat is proving to be a challenge. It's unbelievable. Your entire body is based off the spine, and if you don't have a functioning spine, you don't have the scaffolding to do anything else. So I'm, like I said, I'm down and out. But the good news is, like I said as well, my spirits are high. So that's encouraging because it's been, well, the last couple of days were really bad as far as uh, where my mental state was. And then it just let go. And I did the last video, and today I feel, like I said, really clear, and I feel great. A lot of clarity. I'm able to not react when the tests come in. Now, unfortunately, Amanda's going through her own stuff right now, which is exactly as I thought it would go. It's usually a few days after me, and then she gets her lessons, I guess, from the universe. So, and then with a bad back, it just puts extra pressure on everybody. So, the testing is difficult. Now, like I said, lifting that toilet seat's pretty hard. And that's not going to help either. I'm just going to have to muscle through it and get it done because I can't put extra pressure on the marriage. I don't want that. I don't want that to be the straw that broke the camel's back, literally. So, yeah. So today, I started watching the Telepathy files, which has been trending quite a bit recently. And someone suggested in my comments that I should check it out. And yeah, it's pretty amazing. Now, I actually started crying a little bit. It made me a bit emotional because when I first started automatic writing and doing my clairvoyance predictions in my little book, I made a prediction. Now, there's no guarantees with this, but I had written this down that these autistic savants and severely autistic people were actually the giants among us. They are the most powerful spiritual beings that are down here now. And that as this shift starts to happen, their DNA is going to get turned on and things are going to get much better for those people. And in seeing that video, it kind of triggered that memory and the thought again, and that maybe that is actually the case, and it is a step in that direction for sure. So, I pray that's the case. I hope that is the way it works out. So what are they doing? What is telepathy? Okay, so you have a soul. Your soul is an energetic body. An energetic body doesn't need vocal cords to communicate. When your soul is at higher levels, let's say, higher frequential levels, i.e. the astral plane, heaven, whatever you want to call it, at these higher levels, telepathy is it's implicit in the system. There's no sound. There's energy, there's vibration, there's frequency. I guess you could use different frequential patterns, but essentially that's what you're doing with telepathy. You're sending brain waves instead of vocal waves through the air. So at those levels, from my experience, telepathy is the way it works. And anyone else who's ever taken a trip to the astral plane knows that there's no words. You just communicate instantaneously. Okay, so if your soul is inhabiting this body and you raise the frequency high enough so that you're at the same frequential level as the 5-dimensional frequential level, or your soul is operating above your body, I like to say outside of your body, which as I think is what's happening with these severely autistic savants. They're a kind of not completely in their bodies, in their mind-body complexes. They're not in complete communication and control of it. They're a little bit above. So the body's doing things, yet the soul is inhabiting that body. So if you're above the body, you can interact with the soul of someone near you, which means direct telepathic communication. So now I have past life memories of a place called Atlantis, and in those memories we were a telepathic society. At least the strong memory I have of it. And there was complete silence. Everything was done through the mind. So all I can remember hearing is birds and like ocean noises and waves crashing, and the seagulls, essentially shorebirds. So if you believe that that is actually a thing that happened and was a place that existed, then we've had telepathy on this realm, in this plane, before. And I know that to be the case, but it's up to you to choose what you believe in. It doesn't really matter to me anymore. Um, so, some of these savants, they could, it's almost as if they could predict the future. So as soon as it always happens with their family. So anyone who they've spent a lot of time with, they establish a very strong connection with them. Their souls become intertwined and interconnected, and it's as if the soul of the autistic person inhabits the body of the mother, let's say, and actually looks through her eyes and sees what she's seeing. Or at least the information that's coming through her visual system into the brain and being observed that way. So that's one possibility. I don't know for sure because I've never done this. Another possibility is that they're able to move around the room with their souls. So if you've had people with near-death experiences, if they leave their bodies, they elevate above the body and they can look down on the situation and see things. My ear's ringing for that one. So can they travel to other rooms? Can they astrally travel or project themselves? That's quite possible too. That is real as well. All of this is real. I mean, if you don't know that now, well, you're going to get the surprise of your life here real soon. There's been many government agencies around the world that know this stuff is real and use it to their advantage a lot. So, what is it? It's hard to be sure, but I've had direct experience with it. So, it's mostly with Amanda. Well, always with Amanda. And I've had, well, she reads my mind, essentially, is the way I see it. And I can do the same thing to her. And it gets to the point where I'm not even sure who's doing it, because we're coming together at the same time to say the same thing. So this happens quite often now. Or I'll think about something I want, like say I want a cup of tea, and like 5 seconds later she comes into the room, or she'll ask me, like, do you want a banana? So I had been thinking about I was going to get up to get a banana, and then she'll do it, and vice versa. So the first time I experienced this with her, we were driving. I know exactly where we were on the particular stretch of highway where I asked the question, because it's just kind of spooked me out a little bit. So I don't know, for whatever reason, I went to ask her if she could do it and to try it. So I was driving, she was in the passenger seat, and I think I said I know what I said. I asked her, what do you want for supper? And what were we going to make? And so I said, let's try something. Let me see if I can visualize something in my head and see if you can tell me what I'm thinking of. And so to try to make it difficult, I visualized something we never hardly had very often. And the particular cooking method for this dish, which is not normal, very specific, and not something we always had, to eliminate the possibility that she was, just guessing, getting lucky. And she took about 10 seconds, and then she said exactly what I was thinking. And I was like, what? I didn't almost go off the road, but I definitely had to focus after that. So that happened. That was before I had any belief in any of this stuff. And she's always been able to do this. She has connections with other people too, her grandmother and her mother, and mostly women in her life that call her quite often. but she'll have a premonition, and then 10 seconds later they'll call her. She'll know they're going to call. So I know there's lots of people that happens, and they chalk it up to coincidence, but it is not. Um, and then very recently, I had an actual telepathic voice in my head, um, where it shocked me. It was Amanda again, of course, and she said something to me. She looked at me, and then I heard her voice in my head, and she turned around, and I said, "What did you say?" She said, "I didn't say anything." But I said, "I heard you say this," and she's like, "That's what I was just thinking, but I never said it." So that happened at about 2 months ago. So it's getting stronger and stronger. Now, this is going to be how we do things in the future. This is what I've seen. This is what the future has for us. We're going to be able to do this. Everybody. This is not something unique to me or anyone else. It's everybody. If you have a soul, you can learn to do this. As your vibration increases, and the planet's vibration increases, you will eventually, it'll get to a point where this will be commonplace, and this is how we will communicate. And frankly, will be less important to have devices like this to communicate with each other in the future. So I think I'll leave it there. Oh, my back is absolutely killing me. But I have a positive outlook on this. For whatever reason this time, I know deep down that this is important. I'm letting go of something big in my body, and that after I'm done with this, it's going to be major improvements. So I'm kind of happy. I want it to be over, and I want to get rid of it, but I'm kind of happy that it's actually occurring. So, which is a strange thing to think because it's excruciating. But hey, I've been through worse. So I think I'll leave it there. Like I always say, I hope this video finds you well. I love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow.